How's it going, YouTube? Prisco YGO here, coming at you with another deck profile. So, we got a reveal for Ghost of the Past, confirming that the new Time Thief cards are coming out in the new set, which means I can finally post a deck profile with confidence, knowing that we're getting the cards very soon. Now, if only we can get a confirmation on when we're going to get crossout designator, but that's besides the point. Today I am here to show you a Time Thief deck profile. It is very similar to all of my old deck profiles that I've posted recently. However, with this one, I feel like it is just correct now that we have Adjuster and Double Barrel coming into the TCG confirmed. So without further ado, I am going to switch scenes, and because I don't have the physical cards, obviously, we are going to be showcasing this deck on Dueling Book. So let's go ahead and switch scenes so that I can show you what I've got working here. So today we are starting off with 3 copies of Time Thief Regulator. This is your Rescue Rabbit, aka Rescue Robot. This card is going to tribute itself off the field to summon 2 Time Thief monsters from the deck in face-up defense position. So now this has another target to summon off of itself. We'll get into that in just a moment. Time Thief Winder is your now second best normal summon in the deck because of one of the new cards that is coming out in Ghost from the Past. Time Thief Winder, when it's summoned, can search out any other Time Thief card in your deck, which other than itself, which just makes it a really good Stratos. Like, this card is amazing. It could also special summon itself to the field by detaching an XYZ material from any XYZ monster you control. Doesn't matter what the rank is, doesn't matter what the name is. It summons itself to the field for free by detaching material. So, following up is the new card, Time Thief Adjuster. This card makes this deck so much more consistent. This is a Kage to Kage and a Foolish Burial on crack. Alright, now, unfortunately, you can only use one of the effects, but that's perfectly fine, because if you summon this off of Regulator, you can go ahead and use the effect to dump a Bezel Ship into the grave, and now you have another extender. On top of that, you can also, if you already have a Bezel Ship, or if you opened up with this, you can then go Regulator, use its effect, summon Winder plus Bezel Ship, or if you opened up Winder plus Adjuster plus Regulator, then you go Regulator, summon Chrono Quarter, which is the next card in the deck, plus a Bezel Ship, and then you can go rank those 2 into a Time Thief. And there's a plenty of combos you can go into, because then you can just go Winder, Winder effect, Chain Adjuster. Now you're chain blocking. That means you don't have to worry about Ash. On top of all of that, if you summon the Adjuster back using Perpetua's effect on your opponent's turn, you can then dump a flyback, which gives you a pseudo Deep Pro. This card adds so much more potential to this deck, so much more consistency. I am so happy that we are getting this, and I don't care what anybody says. There was a lot of hate for this card on when they announced it, and you know what? I highly disagree. I think this card is amazing, at least for Time Thief. Chrono Quarter is the next card we're going to talk about here. This one is your Battle Fader / Magic Cylinder, whatever you want to call it. This thing will tribute itself off the field off of the field during your opponent's battle phase, so that you can apply the next damage you would take to your opponent instead. On top of that, it is a very somewhat okay extender, where if an XYZ monster you control leaves the field due to a card effect, you can summon this out from the graveyard, banish it when it leaves the field. And then your now 4th best Time Thief monster, which is Bezel Ship, is a pseudo DD Crow. Contributes itself off the field. Target your Time Thief XYZ monster and rip a card from your opponent's graveyard to attach it to the XYZ monster as material. On top of that, it can detach any material from a XYZ monster, any XYZ monster you control, to summon itself to the field and banish it when it leaves the field, obviously. This card is pretty good. I still think that playing 2 of this is correct. So the ratios that I'm going with is 3, 3, 3, 1, and 2. Obviously, we're still playing the Rocket package. Pretty good. I don't think I need to explain anything more. I mean, like, Rocket Tracer and Rocket Recharger are really good. Plus, Quick Launch is broken. It's E-Telly for level 4s. It's E-Telly for dragons. Boot Sector launch a Soul Charge every turn, as long as you have something else to pop with Tracer. And on top of that, let's say you open up the Tracer, you can go, normal. Let's say you open up Tracer and Recharger, you can go normal summon Tracer, link Tracer off for Striker Dragon, and then go Striker Dragon effect, search Boot Sector, and then Striker Dragon second effect target itself and Tracer, and then you add Tracer back to hand, trigger the Recharger to summon any other dark monster from your graveyard. So you can summon back a Regulator, which now Regulator is live because there's nothing else on the field. You can summon back a Winder, get a free search. You can summon Adjuster. You can summon Chrono Quarter, Battleship, whatever you need. It can summon it. It can summon it back to the field so that you can use their effects and then gain more advantage afterwards. 3 Parallel Exceed. This card's a free rank 4 if you go into a link monster that points to any one of your zones. This is a mandatory card. You should not be playing Time Thief without this card. Just saying. We are playing 1 copy of Phantom Knights of Silent Boots, and this is a very, very awkward reason why, but it's also because we are playing the 3 Shade Brigandine, as you can see down here. Now, Silent Boots is a weird one. It is like your normal summon, I guess, if you open up nothing else whatsoever. This card can search you your Shade Brigandine, which is literally its sole purpose in this deck. You normal summon it, link it off for Almirage, trigger your Parallel Exceed. Parallel Exceed, go into Redoer, and then use your Silent Boots to search for Shade Brigandine. And if you have extenders, you can keep playing from there. The sole purpose of this card, in my opinion, is so that you can search for Shade Brigandine so that you can have another way of getting a trap under a double barrel so you can have a monster negate rather than supplying the traps through Perpetua. Aside from that, it can trigger Parallel Exceed in a pinch, so it is what it is. Continuing with the monsters, we are playing the Cyframe Gear Driver, or Cyframe Driver with the Gammas, and 3 Ash for our hand trap lineup. Moving into the spells, 3 Quick Launch, 1 Boot Sector, 3 Pot of Prosperity. I don't care what anybody says, this card is amazing. You should definitely work on picking them up. And if you ask me for a budget option, within this deck, there are none. Pot of Prosperity is the only correct pot you should be playing. Allure of Darkness sucks. You should not be playing that because it's a neg 1. Pot of Desires is going to banish all your 1-ofs, which you're playing way too many of in this deck for you to ever consider playing it. Unless you're playing a completely different version, which does not rely on 1-ofs whatsoever. Finally, we are playing the Called by the Grave to wrap up the spells. 3 Shade Brigandine, 1 Retrograde, 2 Flyback, and that is going to wrap up a 40-card main deck. Moving on into the extra deck, we are playing 2 copies of Redoer, 2 copies of Perpetua, and 1 Double Barrel. Redoer, obviously your main boss monster of the deck. This is going to be your bread and butter, the most annoying card to ever be created as a rank 4 XYZ, and it's generic. On top of that, it's just really strong. Perpetua should always be played at 2 or more. It should never be played at 1 unless you are going for a Raid Raptor version of the deck, which you can only make 1 anyway because everything else in the extra deck is just taken up by other combo pieces. Double Barrel is 100% a 1-of. Some people are not playing this at all. I think you should be playing this. It's a very good card. I mean, yes, granted, I mean, like, you're not always going to have the spell effect to be able to take control of one face-up monster your opponent controls. Non-targeting, by the way, pretty good, but we're not playing any of the Time Thief spells because just inherently they all fucking suck. However, you can make Double Barrel with a Shade Brigandine so you can get that monster negate. And, I mean, the monster effect probably not gonna come up, but, you know, it is what it is. Aside from all of that, you can still put a spell under Double Barrel by way of, like, Flyback and Bezel Ship's Graveyard effect or Field effects, you know, respectively. You could also just do some other cheeky shit if you really want to do, like, play the spells. They suck. I don't think you should be playing them. Next, we're playing Abyss Dweller, Heartbroken. You should be playing it 100%. Tornado Dragon is debatable. You can also play other rank 4s like Busca or Evil Swarm Nightmare. Evil Swarm Exciton Knight is a personal favorite of mine. I don't own a copy physically, or else I would be playing it in almost all my decks. But again, replace it with whatever you have access to. As long as it's generically good, you might be able to get away with it. We're also playing Borload Savage Dragon in the extra deck because we are playing the Rocket package. If we happen to be able to make a Redoer plus Perpetua plus Double Barrel or whatever the fuck else we want to make, and we have a quick launch, well, might as well go for the Boral Savage just to have some extra negates on the field. Or if you don't want to overextend and you want to play it safe, you can keep this as a follow-up play going into turns 2 and 3 to keep you from, straight up just losing. Links, we are playing Almirage and Striker Dragon as our link ones, Almirage for our Parallel Exceed plays, and Striker Dragon just for our Rocket plays. Cypherm Lord Lambda is so that we can use Redoer to search for Gamma and End Phase, keeping our hand traps live almost at all times. We can also use the Gamma and the Driver to make a Borload Savage, so keep that in mind. You can also play Cypherm Lord Omega if you really wanted to, but that's just personal preference. IP Masquerena is also really good in here because we're playing the Nightmare Unicorn package, as well as an access code package for some cheeky OTKs. You can go IP Masquerena into Unicorn effect to discard a card, send something back. Use an extender, go into access code talker, make it really fucking big, and then just start popping shit and attacking for game. Pretty simple, pretty self-explanatory, pretty fucking good. Anyways, guys, that is going to wrap up the deck for today. I really hope you all enjoyed it, and yeah. Anyways, remember, we do host remote duels every Sunday, Monday, and Friday. You can find all the information in the flyer right over there, as well as more information in my Discord, which the link will be down in the description below. If you want to join these remote duels, it's just $5 to join, and I host them myself. Also, the first place deck profile goes on my YouTube channel, so be sure to check those out. I've got a couple up there already. I mean, you're already watching this video, you might as well watch some more, right? Why not help your boy out? Anyways, guys, that's going to be it for today's video. I really hope you enjoyed it like I did. Thank you for being here. Remember, stay hydrated, stay healthy. I love you all. Deuces, peace out, and all that goodness. I'll see you in the next one.